Weird Way Media.
Hello, Twisted Humans. Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting?
Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked.
Guys, I spent way too much money on a hat that I'm currently wearing, and it is beautiful.
Beautiful. And it matches my shirt.
Yeah, we're matchy-matchy, so go check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and welcome to episode 104?
Yes.
Is that right? 104. I still haven't changed my February calendar to March.
Guys,
scary voice.
Fun fact, we record 2 weeks in advance. So when we are recording, this comes out in 2 weeks. It's currently March 15th, but...
Which is still fucking March 15th, so I should be on the March calendar.
No.
And I'm not.
You're still on February?
Yeah, my calendar's still showing me February.
Oh,
so
man.
This is on me. Yeah.
100%. I think I have a video clip of you saying this exact thing that you're...
Yes.
Because we were recording in February, but we were talking about March.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to flip that.
Come on, lady.
Never did.
Get it together.
Never did. It's kind of really high up, so...
How
it's
high
like,
up is high up?
I mean, you know, it's above a bookshelf.
Is it because you're small?
Yeah, it's a hassle to get over there. it's a hassle
and I
to
mean
get it up.
small, like S-M-O-L. Small.
Yes, I am small.
She's 20 small, guys. Hey, I am smaller than the average woman, and I am taller than Sierra, so I gotta own that. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably confused. I am half a sangria pitcher in and wearing a hat backwards, so it's fine. And it's Sierra's episode, so I don't have to confuse you with my words.
It's my episode, and it's a conspiracy episode. But first, I need you to tell me a fun fact.
I was going to say this would be a perfect time for Riverside's noise.
Right?
But guys, for now, you have to listen to me. So my fun fact is about cake. Don't ask me why. But I searched fun facts about Texas because me and Sierra were just talking about Texas. And German chocolate cake was actually invented in Texas.
You know, it's so weird because a lot of things that you would think are from other countries were invented in America. The Cuban sandwich was invented in Florida.
But
the
are they, like,
taco,
trying to make it
I
more
believe,
exotic?
was invented in Texas.
No.
Like,
the westernized version of the taco was invented in Texas, yes.
yeah.
But, like, traditional tacos are very different than what we eat.
Right. Traditional pizzas are very different than what we eat. They eat their pizzas cold in Italy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
That's
I mean,
upsetting.
originally. Now it's all westernized also, and they just make pizza like everybody makes pizza.
Yeah,
but
because
originally,
they knew that the pizza was better that way. That's fucking gross. I'm so
it's
sorry.
like a Lunchable.
We actually have a lot of listeners in Italy. I'm really sorry.
Don't you like
It's
pizza
fucking
Lunchables?
gross. But it's not cold.
Yes, it is. You don't store your Lunchable in the fridge?
That's true.
It has to be stored in the fridge.
That little, like, cracker-like thing that you put...
Yeah. Like a pita
marinara
bread.
sauce on?
Yeah.
I haven't eaten that since I was a kid because
What?
I know what real pizza
That's the
tastes
best Lunchable ever.
It is
and
the
it
best
is
Lunchable.
closer to real pizza than westernized pizza.
like. Gross, man. Well, yeah, that's true. Now that you've pointed it out that way. I have never been somebody that likes cold pizza, though. I know people that will order pizza and put it in the fridge because they like
I've
cold
had pizza for breakfast many times.
I
don't heat it up.
I will put it back in the oven the next day. I do not like cold pizza. I'm fucking weird.
Weird.
I understand this about myself that I
Cold
am the
pizza is like
minority in
the
that group.
only leftover you can eat cold. And
Yeah.
it still tastes good.
See, but you know how slow I eat, so most of my food is cold anyway. So really, I'm just pizza's the one thing
That's
I
true.
like hot. Guys, it's painful. I just get distracted doing other stuff. I'm like, this needs to get done. This needs to get done. Yesterday, it took me 4 hours to eat half a bagel.
Yeah, it's going to take us 4 hours to get through this episode. I'm going to tell you a fun fact now.
Okay.
My fun fact is about Gilmore Girls because it's just, I go through obsessions all of the time, and I'm in my obsession again. I recently learned that Amy Sherman Palladino, the creator, writer of Gilmore Girls, when she went in to pitch her pilot to the WB, Warner Brothers, is what it was at the time, she was wearing a black skirt, black fishnet tights,
Atta girl.
black combat boots,
Atta girl.
and a black tank top that said, "I fucked your boyfriend last night."
Why?
She's my hero.
Did she give a reason though?
No, that's just that was her style
Atta girl.
in 1996 or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. I love
It's
it so
kind of
much.
like the hat that I used to have. I wear beanies a lot when we record, but I don't wear a lot of hats when we record because it gets in the way, hence why it's backwards. But I have a hat that says I love boobies.
Yeah.
So why not have a hat that says I fucked your boyfriend last night?
Yeah. She is my spirit animal. Like, she's my hero. I want to be Amy Sherman Palladino. She's amazing.
You want to be Sierra Zorn friends with Amy Sherman Palladino.
She would never be my friend.
I think she would. Are you kidding me?
No.
With that
No,
t-shirt?
no.
Are you sure?
I'm a very quiet person. She would
but
eat me alive. I
would.
wish I had her confidence. That's why I said I want to be her.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I think between the two of us can turn it on more than you can, which is saying something because we're both introverts. But
I
think I can
very.
convince her to be our friend.
I don't. I honestly don't. Like, I don't think.
I am
like,
wearing a hat that says
not a
party
bad
time.
thing.
Are you
but I
sure?
don't think she's a friendly person. Like,
Oh, fair.
she's a person who is either you're already her friend or she will
Or-
befriend you. She's not
Yeah.
looking for friends. You know, she's not accepting applications for friends. She
she
finds
should
her
be.
friends.
Does she not know how
I
cool
am.
we are?
I always am. But she'll find her own friends. She
Guys,
doesn't want
She says
our
she's always
application.
accepting friends because she's not really sure about me as her friend.
No, I'm always accepting friends because I have like 3. You, Kelsey, and like Jesse's friend Jeremy. Like, that's my friends. Going off the rails, let's
Tell us
talk about
about sangria.
sangria.
Because that's
Yes, yes,
why
yes.
I'm a mess.
We had 7 Moons wine, red
Which
blend.
is beautifully displayed on my shelf now that it's empty.
Love it. This recipe was super simple. I didn't even make a video. Literally, you just put in some vodka and some berries. That's it. You can top it off with sparkling water if you want. I did not.
You didn't?
But
Interesting.
yeah, no. I didn't. It's just because I didn't have any. I had the berries, I had the wine, and I had the vodka. I was like, I can do this one.
I have gin instead of vodka because, again, I have gin in my house because I had my parents over for Christmas and my mom likes gin, so I didn't buy vodka, I bought gin. Anyways, hi Mom, I know you're listening. So I had Bombay gin, which for cheap vodka is kind of the same. Like, you don't really taste it. So, yeah, that's what I'm drinking with frozen berries because berries here are ridiculously expensive. And I topped mine up with a little bit of an energy drink because I'm a zombie today.
Nice.
So I have gin, berries, our wine, and a little bit of energy drink. But it's very good. Like,
It
we
is
did
really good.
one
It's-
very
it's
similar
very simple.
when we first started. That was all berries and red wine. And that's one of my favorite sangrias still, so. I think it helps if you're able to make it in advance. I only made mine after work today, and shook it up. But I think the longer it sits, the more of that comes through, and it's very good.
I kind of wish I would have muddled my berries because they were not frozen.
Good call.
Yeah. But it is really good. I mean, I had mine in the fridge for an hour before I put in the vodka, and then I split it into 2.
But
and I
I think it
accidentally
helps
put
that
all
we
of my
both
berries
really
into
like
one.
the wine. too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what would you rate it?
I don't remember what I gave the wine, but I think I'd give this the same. I think it was like an 8 maybe. It obviously changed the flavor a little bit, but it's still the wine. And so it still has that, when you're drinking it, when it's in your mouth, it's so good. As soon as you swallow it, I don't like that lingering spice taste afterwards, which I still get. But other than that, I mean, it's great.
Yeah. And again, if this is your first episode, we have never claimed to be a wine expert. We have never claimed to be a sangria expert. We just mix what we have with what we have. And
If this is your first
Go from there.
episode, we never talk this much before we start. I swear to God. Okay, so we need to get into this episode before we ramble any longer. But first, real quickly, we are going to take a little break to hear a promo from A Million Other Choices. This is a conspiracy episode.
I'm so excited. I don't
Please, listeners, keep this in mind. I feel like I always have to say that so I don't sound completely crazy when I inevitably get very enthusiastic about this topic. Also, I am not a scientist. A lot of the information I'm going to tell you today is theory. There is some fact sprinkled in that led people to make these theories, but it's mostly just a crazy conspiracy theory that is fun. So we're just going to have some fun. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let me tell you this. This all stemmed from a TikTok video that I saw.
Even better.
It was
The most
posted on
millennial thing I've ever heard.
It was posted on the Ancient Aliens TikTok page.
Okay.
And I
I'm
went
going to
down a
follow
rabbit
that
hole.
right now.
Well, Ancient Aliens is a TV show, right? With the
Yes.
guy with the crazy
But I
hair.
didn't know they had a TikTok page.
They do. They have a
Going to
TikTok
do it
page.
right now. Continue.
Yep. So there is a belief among, I say many, but mostly many ancient alien. There's a belief among many scientists and space lovers alike that evolution is not quite as easy and a perfect theory as we believe it to be. Human beings, we are told, evolved from ape-like creatures many millions of years ago. This evolution caused us to eventually stand erect, walk on 2 feet, use advanced tools, and create a language. Anthropology studies, which I took, will tell you that once the Neanderthals evolved into Homo sapiens, which is what us humans are, we lived side by side with them, even mating with them, for many years before eventually humans killed off the entire Neanderthal race. That's a real thing. That's a real thing we did. We're awful humans. Literally humans that are awful. Now.
I don't think that needs to be the only point in history to see how awful we are.
Oh,
But yeah.
I'm just saying, we were awful from the very fucking beginning.
We suck
Literally the
as
beginning.
a species. No good.
Yeah. So let me theorize about our species. So I don't know exactly how evolution works, and again, I'm not a scientist, I don't claim to, but it never quite made sense to me that we would effectively kill off our ancestors just because they look a little different than us. I mean, you know, that's something that has happened, but think about it. We literally evolved from them. We were born from those Neanderthals, right? If we evolved from them, like, that's what evolution is. They were born, then they had babies that were us, right? That's what evolution is. If your dad had you and you were like, actually, Dad, you're ugly, I'm going to kill you now. You know, that's weird. Literally, we're the children of them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
you know, back when
I
the
see,
evolution
I see.
first
Like,
came.
it's something that's already happened, but we can't stop it. I see.
Right.
Like, it's
So,
not
like,
going to make a difference on the evolutionary train. Sorry.
Exactly.
I missed that. I'm like, but
Yes,
that's happened before.
There are parents. It's like if okay, this is a really bad example because
No,
I
I'm
could
gonna
totally
love
see it happening. But I was going to say, it's like if millennials just suddenly decided to kill all the boomers because they're being assholes now. Like, yeah, they're being assholes now, but they made us who we are. They raised us, you know? It just felt weird. Anyway, so the other thing is, like, how come not all of our DNA shows that we have Neanderthal ancestors? even if two Homo
That's
sapiens,
true. Like 23andMe,
humans,
people have seen
exactly,
it or not. Interesting.
even if two humans, Homo sapiens, created a line full of fully blooded Homo sapien children, those first two were born from Neanderthals, right?
True.
Like, I think that's how evolution works. I'm
But
dumb,
do you think
but
there's a mutation situation?
no, I'll tell you what I think, and it's this theory.
Okay.
So, and that specifically is why this theory works for me.
Because
And
it's
again,
like red
it's a
hair.
fucking theory.
You know, like it's a mutation. Oh,
Let me tell you.
okay.
So the next reason that this conspiracy theory that I haven't told you yet works for me is that if we did evolve from ape-like creatures, how come there are still ape-like creatures? Like actual fucking apes out here living just fine, not evolving anymore. It's as if the last evolution of theirs, the one where they're now apes, is exactly where they want to be. Like, if they genetically evolved further into Neanderthals, they might be killed off again by us. Because what if us are not descendants of Neanderthals? What if we fell from the sky? What if Homo sapiens came here and eradicated the other human-ish species, the Neanderthals, so that we could take their place? The conspiracy that I'm telling you about is that humans are from Mars.
Ah, love it. Okay. Give it to
So,
me.
once upon a time, Mars and Earth were like twin planets, with only very slight differences. They were formed at the same time during their Big Bang. They both had water and life forms. Earth has 24-hour days, while Mars has 24.9-hour days. Mars had an atmosphere that kept in the sun's heat, just like Earth does. It is quite possible that in the very distant past, there were Martians. Some sort of living things that must have evolved on Mars.
I was
But
6
also-
years old when I learned that that's what that meant.
Martians from Mars? Yeah.
Yep.
It is quite possible that in the very distant past, there were Martians. Some sort of living things must have lived and evolved on Mars. But also in the distant past, something happened that destroyed that planet, causing it to go red. There are two major theories that the human Martian conspiracy scientists believe in. The first theory is that there was another planet in our solar system a long time ago, and eventually the planet was knocked off course by a meteor or something, and a piece of the planet knocked into Mars and destroyed its atmosphere, making the planet uninhabitable. It would have been very similar to the asteroid that hit the dinosaurs, except worse and also planned for, since they were able to leave and then make it to Earth in time. The Martians. The other Martian theory is that the Martians destroyed their own planet. Mars is considered a red planet. It's literally red. But as I said before, it was once Earth-like. Blue water, green land. And even now, as the years have gone by, the red slowly fades. It was once... Yeah.
Interesting.
If you look at it, it was once way redder than it is now. It's now more brown than red.
Yeah.
It could even be blue and green someday, now that the Martians are not there destroying it. So how did they destroy it? In this theory, it's thought that the Martians used nuclear weapons or something similar to destroy each other. And while destroying each other, they ruined the land they lived on. And once that
Sounds
land
like
was
humans.
destroyed, doesn't it? Once that land was destroyed and the planet was becoming uninhabitable, they went to their planet B, Earth, to escape. But when they got to Earth, they encountered another species, the Neanderthals, on the verge of becoming smart enough to be a threat, the same way that the other Martians were a threat on Mars. So, slowly, they began killing off those Neanderthals.
Oh, no.
But not all Martians were bad. Some welcomed the Neanderthals living beside them and made them a part of their family. And that's why only some people have Neanderthal DNA.
Interesting. Look at you going all geographical on us.
There's also a spin-off theory that people who have a darker skin tone are the ones who are descendants of Neanderthal.
So
the people who actually belong to Earth, because Earth is closer to the sun than Mars, so they would need to have a darker pigmentation to protect themselves. And so the extremely light-skinned or white people are the Martians. So what do you think of these? Right? What do you think of these two theories so far of why Mars is now a red planet? Do you think it was like an asteroid hit the planet like with dinosaurs, or do you think it was like nuclear weapons?
It's hard. It could honestly be either. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am very pale-skinned, so I'm going to say not nuclear weapons, but the first one.
Okay.
Because I don't relate to nuclear weapons.
I'm prone to believe the nuclear weapon theory only because I can see us humans doing the same thing to this planet.
Yeah,
and I do believe that history tends to repeat itself if you aren't careful. So, this is what I need you to look at the first picture. I put a picture in the drive. It's the one that says screenshot 1. It's allegedly from an AI generator. The person who shared it said they asked the AI to draw humans on Mars.
Okay.
And this is the photo that came up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's very doom and gloom. I don't like it.
Very doom and gloom. It's red smoke. It looks like a nuclear war going off in a city.
Yeah.
So this could be a prediction
upsetting.
Of what will inevitably happen if humans go to Mars, or this could be a memory type photo of what happened back when humans were on Mars as Martians all those years ago. So, if this is what happened back then, how come we don't see many remnants of human life on Mars? The buildings, the communities, etc. A different question was asked on Reddit, but it gave the same answer that I'm going to give you now. So let me read this conversation real quick.
Okay.
User So You Like Donuts, eh? Says, there's significant evidence that Mars was an Earth-like planet once. User Defiant Giraffe replies back, that is, once it had water on it, yes, but it never had enough gravity to have enough of an atmosphere to support a large ecosystem like Earth's. User So You Like Donuts, eh? Responds, unless you go underground, my friend. If humans were the Martians, it is very possible that civilization on Mars was all underground. The alleged proof that we're looking for, the cities and whatnot, are in the ground. That's why we don't see them from space. We'd have to actually go there and look around. There is an ancient underground city in Turkey that some people believe existed during the Ice Age and was built even before then. This civilization, it is said, would have had far more knowledge of the Earth and of the universe to be able to prepare for and survive such an event like the Ice Age. How did they know the Ice Age was coming? To build this ancient city.
I will forever think of Sid from Ice Age when it comes to the Ice Age.
Well, now I'm going to make you think of something else.
No!
The ancient underground city is thought by some to be a sort of survival bunker, having enough space to shelter 20,000 people underground It's the city is called Kuyu. It has 18 levels of rooms and tunnels over the area of 4 square kilometers. It was made in the shape of an ant farm, but in human size, by hacking at the rock with hand axes. It has air ducts for ventilation and shafts that reach the water tables 85 feet underground. Click on that second picture.
Oh, it's like a bunch of little homes.
Right. It does look relatively flat, like all your neighbors would be on your right or your left. But again, this is like an ant farm thing.
But it's more
where it kind of goes...
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of depth. It goes circular in all different directions. You could have 6 neighbors on the left, right, front, back, and crisscross of you. And then go to the next picture. That's what the inside looks like.
Weird.
And then
Very
the
cool,
last
but
picture.
weird.
In the last picture, you can see on the left, there's actually a really big boulder with like a hole in the middle. Those are doors to block out things from the the upstairs, the ground, because they live underground. So they're literally blocking people from getting in.
Creepy though. Like, how do you get out?
So crazy. Well, you open the door.
Yeah.
Close the door, open the door.
Looks
It
like
rolls.
a boulder.
It is a boulder, but you stick something in there and it rolls. And then you roll it back.
Seems like way too much effort to control your door,
I agree. The thing is, like, why would someone make this underground thing, if they didn't already know about space, if they didn't know the Ice Age was coming, if they weren't used to making these? This is probably what's all over Mars, if humans are actually Martians. Okay, so now we know the reasons why people might think this theory of humans from Mars could be possible. But where's the proof or the evidence or facts in any of this crazy theory? In 2013, ecologist Ellis Silver published a book called Humans Are Not From Earth. Like, straight up, he was like, guys, seriously, I don't believe we're from here. In this book, he explains all the human vulnerabilities we have here on Earth. If the human species actually evolved on Mars instead of Earth, it would explain why these vulnerabilities exist and why we haven't yet evolved to adapt to them.
Okay.
Number 1, slow childhood development. All of the other animals on planet Earth have a much faster development than humans. Birds fly after a few weeks, some birds after a few hours. Dogs leave their parents after a few months. Horses and cows and giraffes learn to walk immediately after falling from their mother's vagina.
I know, that's always been a very wild point, that humans are useless to me.
Yeah. Apes take a little longer than the others to mature, a little closer to human life. It's at about 13 years when they're officially matured. But even they are able to walk and venture on their own at only 5 months old.
Yeah.
The bowhead whale takes about as long as humans to get through childhood. This is like the only animal I could find that takes as long as humans do to get through childhood and become an adult. However, the bowhead whale lives up to 500 years, and we clearly do not. So we spend way too much time as children. I mean, I don't agree with that. I love being a child, but evolutionarily, we shouldn't.
Well,
like, if we were evolved to adapt to Earth, we shouldn't take that long.
It's true. That's the joke of so many bits of humanity, in that, something can quote unquote drop from somebody's vagina and be self-sufficient. But human infants need infinitely longer than that, and arguably like 18 years that they're with their parents.
And we always have this. I mean, maybe not always have till 18, but never in, Neanderthals, they didn't walk when they were 2 months old like monkeys do. Never. or apes or whatever, humans have always needed, I'm sorry, not Neanderthals. I meant Homo sapiens because I don't know anything about Neanderthals. Neanderthals might be from Earth. Homo sapiens always needed that extra time.
Yep.
So this brings me to my next vulnerability. Humans are very susceptible to illness.
Yep.
If we have lived on this same planet since the beginning of time, you'd think we'd be able to ward off illnesses brought on by this planet
Like
a little better than we
common
do.
cold?
Exactly. Humans also often have spinal problems and difficulty giving birth. If we were from Mars, these things may be linked to Mars having a different gravitational pull than Earth. Earth's gravitational pull is too much, so it's causing us to hunch over.
Yeah. Interesting.
Another vulnerability that humans have is sun exposure. Vitamin D is needed for nutritious reasons, but too much sun exposure over time causes sunburn or even cancer. We also need sunglasses as if our eyes are not properly adapted to our sun from this position.
That's so true. Why do we need sunglasses?
No other animals on Earth need sunscreen or sunglasses. But maybe if we are from one planet further from the sun, we wouldn't need those things on Mars.
Wait, I've never done a DNA testing thing, but now I'm curious.
I have, and I do not have Neanderthal DNA, but I do know someone who does.
But do you burn easily? Do you have like... Wait, oh no.
I've
That's
had
the
sun
opposite.
poison before.
Neanderthal means that you could be from Mars, right?
No, Neanderthals are from Earth.
Okay, so
They-
you have olive
Martians,
skin.
right. Martians came and killed the Neanderthals.
See, I think we need to test this right now. I am pastier than you. I am less tolerant to the sun than you. I think we can prove
Yeah.
this.
You're even less from Earth than I am.
And you're the alien of our show. I'm just the Canadian alien.
Yeah, you're an alien too.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, I'm going to test
and
it out,
so-
guys. Stay tuned.
So this brings me to the temperature of Earth. Often, there are days where the temperature is so hot that some humans literally die.
Yep.
Literally, there are... and this isn't just global warming. I know global warming is a bitch. But even, hundreds of years ago, in the 1600s, there were days that were just so fucking hot. People just died.
There were so many people that died last year during our heat wave.
Yes.
It's embarrassing.
There were so many people that died during the heat wave in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
It's so sad. It's like,
Yeah.
why? Because they couldn't get access to air conditioning? Because humans invented air conditioning? Because they can't deal with it?
Right? Mars today can get pretty damn cold, but back when it did have an atmosphere, it is estimated that the average temperature was about 67 degrees Fahrenheit or 19.4 Celsius. I don't know about you, but that seems
That's
like the most
optimal
perfect temperature ever.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shorts and a sweater. Like, the fucking best weather
That
ever.
is the best weather ever.
Not only does it feel like a great temperature, but it is also scientifically the best temperature for performance of the human body.
That checks out.
Human bodies produce two types of fat when eating. A good fat and a bad fat. We always hear about the healthy fats and the not healthy fats.
Mm-hmm.
Research shows that if the human is kept in temperatures of 67 degrees Fahrenheit, only the good fat is created, not the bad fat.
So
If you stay at 67 degrees forever, nobody would be obese.
What? Okay, now I'm mad. Now I need to move to Mars.
Yep, this would suggest that the bad fat is only being created because we are on the wrong planet. We wouldn't have to worry about that on Mars.
We are not optimal here. This makes so much sense.
The last bit of quote-unquote proof that suggests humans are from Mars is that while we humans have a circadian rhythm of 24-hour days here on Earth, the circadian rhythms of astronauts, once they get into space, automatically change to 24.9 hours unintentionally.
What?
And if you remember from earlier, Mars has a 24.9-hour day. It's as if the human body instinctively knows that their biological makeup is meant for the 24.9-hour day planet as soon as they get out of our atmosphere.
This is my favorite conspiracy theory ever.
Clearly, humans, whether originally from here or not, are doing just fine. We're fine.
But do
We
you
are not
think that we destroyed another planet and that's why we're here?
Yes. We
Sorry,
are the
I may
most
be
advanced. We are the most advanced and intelligent animals on the planet. So, no big deal. But it does seem that we are just adapting and surviving here. Maybe we never biologically evolved to live easily here the way that animals do. Maybe humans really are from Mars. What do you think?
I think 100% that that's the theory. As you were saying this, I'm like, well, that makes sense. If why we're not consecutively measuring up to whatever the standards are, then that's a
Right.
clear sign. You can't argue with science.
But
I am constantly too
the
hot
only
or
quote
too
unquote
cold, so.
standards that we compare ourselves to are the standards of other human beings.
Yeah, but I'm
by now-
constantly too hot or too cold, so.
Exactly.
I thought it was
And
anxiety.
Human beings are a type of animal, but no other animals deal with the things we deal with.
No.
Like, why do we have to adapt and survive when their biological evolution stopped them at the perfect spot? Why haven't we
It's
gotten to
so
that perfect spot
true.
yet?
It's so true. Because think of the invention of heating and air conditioning.
Yeah.
If we were
Animals don't
truly
need that.
it's true. And humans are animals, so if we were meant to be in that situation, then we would be in that
Evolve.
situation, or we would
Yes.
die out. So, but like you said, humans are too smart to have died out, quote unquote. So we're going to evolve.
We're adapting and surviving.
Yeah.
But
it makes
not evolving.
sense. 20 degrees, perfect temperature for anyone I ever knew ever. Celsius. I'm
Right?
speaking Celsius, guys. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm in Canada.
67 Fahrenheit.
perfect.
That's amazing.
That's like a little bit balmy, a little bit warm, a little bit.
The best
like
day
it's the
ever.
best temperature. You don't need
Yes.
to wear layers. You
That's what
don't need
most
to-
humans have their air conditioners set to.
Yeah, it's 20 degrees. So I love this theory. Love it. No notes. I think that we were not meant to be here. And that we
We're
are
from
just
Mars.
destroying another planet.
We are Martians.
And we're
We're
destroying
destroying
another
another planet.
fucking planet.
I
Which
mean,
is
maybe
really
they-
sad. It's really
It is.
sad.
It is so sad. But maybe they timed it out right because Mars is coming down from its red. So maybe by the time we get to Mars, it'll be green and blue again. And then Earth will be red. And then by the time we make Mars red again, Earth will be green and blue again.
So it's like a cycle
It
between
sounds
two
awful.
planets. It
but
does.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. But it also
Yeah.
makes me really sad. Like,
Oh, it's so sad because the Earth is also living. Like,
do you think
everything
that
on it is living.
things that weren't meant to be on this Earth could potentially be from something else, or they just didn't have the evolution to cut it, like animals that had become extinct? Like, what do you think in that way? Like, humans are just too smart to become extinct, or...
Yeah, I think that humans had knowledge from life on another planet that caused
like,
them
a
to be able
monkey
to
wouldn't be
adapt
able to
and
have.
survive.
Yeah.
Right. And the things that died out either died out because we didn't know about their, like, you know, the things that we overhunted and over this and over that. If the Neanderthals were still living and living side by side them, I think their biological makeup would cause them to know these are our friends too. We're not going to kill these animals till they're dead. But us humans are like, fuck this planet. We're only here for a little bit. Kill them. Eat them. You know?
Interesting.
It's super weird.
It's so weird.
I'm sad to say that I think I'm a
Like
Martian.
things like pigs, they're smarter than dogs, who are man's best friend. Like, it's like, why did we choose to start eating them?
Yeah, maybe because we were scared they were going to evolve to something smarter.
They're going to
like
outsmart us and
Animal
take over.
Farm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird, Ben.
Yeah.
I love this, though, as a theory.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
I don't know where to begin with photos, so I'm very thankful that you gave me photos.
Yeah, there's also, I don't know if I can find it now, but I'll go back and double check my notes, because I think I have the link saved somewhere. There's a photo of the Mars rover on Mars, and there's like this little section of it, and, you know, it just takes random photos, but there's this little section of photo that looks like bricks underground on Mars.
Ew.
It looks like the side of a building.
No.
So that's interesting. And then there's also, I didn't add it because there wasn't enough information, but there is a little boy. I don't know if he's little anymore. This story was from a while ago. But a young boy who was from Russia who told his parents that he was reincarnated. He has a past life. And in his past life, he lived on Mars. Weird, huh?
I'd be curious to know how many other stories are like that, though.
Yeah.
Humans are shitty, destructive creatures that, and I'm saying that pejoratively, like, I know not all of us are like that. A lot of our listeners have the same values that you and I have, where we do what we can for the
humans
planet.
in our recent history fucking
they
suck.
suck so bad. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like, if you can have, you know, historical proof of XYZ, why can't you have historical proof of living on another planet?
And it kind of feels like a lot of things leading up to the point where we are would agree with this theory. Hitler only wanted blonde hair, blue-eyed, light-skinned people. I bet they were all Martians. White people wanted darker-skinned people to be slaves. It's terrible, but it would not make sense like a good thing, but it would be a reason for him to want to kill other people if he thought that they weren't the same literal species
from another planet
as him.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, like Hitler was from Mars.
Yeah.
He only wanted Martians alive on Earth.
True.
He wanted to kill off the darker-skinned Neanderthal relative people.
Yeah.
Or when white people enslaved black people. Oh, us white people from Mars, we're the smarter ones.
Yeah, why are these people looking so different than we do?
Also, it would
to clarify
a little bit,
again, guys, we are talking
we
about
don't agree with these
conspiracy
things.
theory.
Right.
We know no proof of anything other than what we are living in right now. We are both white women. We understand our privilege.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. I just want to
Also-
make sure no one writes in, like, you guys are
Right.
dicks.
No. But also religion with quote unquote God coming from the sky.
True.
I guarantee asshole human white people who came from Mars were like, we're here to help you. We're your God.
We have a God complex.
And fucking took over.
Oh, I like
Isn't
that
that
theory.
crazy?
I like that theory. Because it's true. We suck as a fucking species. So we do kind of have a God complex. And this is a blanket statement. Like, Sierra and I do not speak for all of humanity, but that's so true.
It's crazy.
We suck. I love it.
We hate our
love it.
ancestors now.
It's so true. I love it as a theory. I do.
Yeah.
And who knows? It's probably true. We have no idea. Wow. I love it. I'm actually kind of obsessed with that theory. Like, now that you look at human evolution and, like, the history of what people have done, makes sense.
It makes sense.
It does. Let us know your guys' theories, as always.
Put on your tinfoil hats.
Yeah, put on
Give
your
it a
tinfoil
think.
hats.
You'll get there.
I regret not actually wearing a tinfoil hat and just a regular hat for this episode, but we love and respect all cultures, just to clarify, and this is super cool. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I'm from Mars. I have left this episode feeling like I am probably from Mars.
I agree, and I love other cultures than my own, like I always have,
Yeah.
a little more now, because they actually belong here.
Right? And it's
Yeah,
like, how
I've always
often do
wanted-
we feel like we don't belong here?
Exactly. I've always
Right?
wanted
We
my
are
DNA
not from here.
to come back as something more interesting than just fucking white people.
Well, you're
Like,
an alien.
Because I wish I was more related to this Earth, but apparently I'm more related to Mars.
Interesting.
I stand
Very
with
interesting.
Earthlings. Fuck us Martians.
Yeah, seriously. Interesting. That's such a cool theory. Because it's true. Ugh, I
weird,
don't like
huh?
that you did this to me. I don't.
But it's so fun.
You know, anything is possible, like we always say on the show. Let us know your thoughts, theories, and, you know, conspiracies about this topic, because this is super interesting. And we love and appreciate you guys all for listening. Sierra and I are probably just aliens because of our weirdness, but if this lends truth to anything, you never know. But before we roll on out of here, Sierra, do you have a hopeful or happy thought for today?
A man named Chen Si spends every weekend of his life at the Nanjing Yangtze River Bridge, the world's #1 suicide site, and saves people from jumping. He has saved 114 people from killing themselves so far. Just for no reason other than he doesn't want people to do it. How fucking sweet is that?
That's beautiful.
I know.
And we do have a lot of resources on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, if you feel suicidal or if you know somebody that is suicidal. You are not alone.
Your life is like a book. Don't end the book short. Keep turning the pages.
100%. We love you guys, and thank you for continuing to turn this page that is our show. We will see you next week for a brand new episode, and happy Give Me Hope thought. But in the meantime, don't forget to rate and review the show if you like what you're hearing. And in the meantime,
Keep it twisted.
Twisted and Uncorked is a proud member of Weirding Way Media. Hosted and produced by Sierra Zorn and Alicia Watson. If you like the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can check out all things Twisted on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode.